Kevin Lee has been suspended by the Nevada State Athletic Commission due to testing positive for amphetamine Adderall, which is a banned stimulant. He released a statement and he posted this on his Instagram with the caption, "I have tested over the limit allowed by the Nevada State Athletic Commission in my most recent fight. In 2018, I was diagnosed with adult ADHD. It has always affected me. I did not discover real treatment for the diagnosis until 2020 when I was recovering from my double knee surgeries. I was prescribed Adderall from a doctor to improve my mental health. I told representatives from USADA, but did not apply for the therapeutic use exemption from the Nevada State Athletic Commission before my last fight. For that, I truly apologize to the UFC, the commission, my opponent, Dana White, the matchmakers, Sean Shelby and Mick Maynard and the fans. It was never my intention to gain any athletic advantage. It was an attempt to conquer the severe anxiety I silently suffer from daily. I am actively cooperating with the Nevada State Athletic Commission and expect to reach an agreement on a sanction. I will use this time to heal and come back stronger. Sorry for my lack of professionalism that led to this disappointment. I'll be back." Paulo Costa at the UFC Vegas 41 press conference says they won't be able to make the middleweight limit and wants to fight Marvin Vettori at the catchweight.
I think this fight will happen. Just will not happen if he not want to fight me. Maybe we can do catweight 185. I don't know. 90 kilos, 90 kilos. I don't know how it is. 185. Okay, maybe. And it's not on the schedule. Make 185 anymore. It's another way, above that. But I not exactly which weight yet. I really don't care. I'm more concentrate on my weight than on his weight. I don't care if he, make 225 pounds or more. Right. But we need to find a catchweight to make. Yeah. I don't know exactly yet.
The McLab recently reported that Nate Diaz has been advised against signing a new deal with the UFC by British political advisor Dominic Cummings. He tweeted, "Do not sign new UFC contract. You will make more cash outside, and at Dana White will come do a deal at some point for a trilogy Conor McGregor fight. But outside you'll have much more leverage and make more dollars. Look at this screwed out George St. Pierre, now waiting for contract to expire." Conor McGregor reacted and tweeted, "Advised by who? Does this lanky streak of piss think he's business savvy or something? Hey bro, you had 15 fights in the UFC and you won 20k to fight and 20k to win. Ha ha ha, 15 fights in the UFC. Eyelid hanging off your head and handed a 20k check pre-tax. Know who made you." Over the weekend, Corey Anderson defeated Ryan Bader via TKO in the first round. Jan Blachowicz reacted and tweeted, "Hold up, so a guy who bolted from the UFC after I slept him and almost made him retire, got a couple of wins in the second league and claims he is the best? Maybe I've punched him too hard. No class in win or defeat, Corey. There's levels to this." Corey Anderson responded back saying, "Let's not forget what happened to you the first time I left you looking like Elephant Man. And you posted I need to go home and rethink my career. Yeah, I got knocked out in a second fight, lucky punch, but I made you my broad for 15 minutes straight, nothing lucky about that." At UFC Vegas 40, Aspen Ladd lost to Norma Dumont via unanimous decision. A lot was made of Aspen Ladd's head coach Jim West, where many said he didn't do a good job with his coaching. Head coach Jim West later released a statement and apologized to Aspen Ladd. Daniel Cormier reacted and tweeted, "This is what I'm talking about right here. Now a coach has to apologize for how he talks to his athlete? I disagree. I've heard much worse from my coaches and the coach knows how his athlete will respond. I prefer this to some of the other cornering we've seen lately. #old school. Chuck Liddell will not be charged following his arrest for domestic violence. The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office has decided they will not move forward with the charges against Chuck Liddell and his wife after an alleged domestic violence incident this past Monday. Ryan Bader recently reacted to his loss to Corey Anderson and posted this on his Instagram with the caption, "The game we played, not the result we wanted, but I felt the love in Arizona. Thank you guys for always having my back." Julian Marquez recently was pulled out of UFC Vegas 40 due to an illness. He released a statement on his Instagram and he went on to say, "Some days just aren't your day. Had some medical complications and my coaches decided it would be best to pull me from the fight. I'd like to greatly apologize to Ninjoda MMA and his team for our unprofessionalism. I was really looking forward to a great fight against a great team, but sometimes things don't go as planned. I'm going to spend the weekend to recover and get back to making sure this never happens again. Thank you everyone for the support. We'll be back." Michael Bisping on the Believe in Me podcast gives his thoughts on Conor McGregor's altercation with the Italian DJ in Rome.
If we look at the facts that we know, right, and I'm not close to the situation, and I do know of Conor's management, of course, but I haven't spoken to anybody. I'm basing my comments now off what we as the public know, right? So let's just take that at face value. Let's say he did just punch him out of the blue. And we have no reason to suggest that he's lying. And why is that? Well, because he's saying he's unstable. Look at the VMAs a few weeks ago with Machine Gun Kelly. He was looking a bit unstable there, swinging his drinks over everyone on the red carpet with a celebrity star-studded event and waving his cane around. That's not a stable person. He cracks the old guy in the bar. Do you know what I mean? And this thing with the phone with the fan. There's been plenty of things. But he gets away with it. He gets away with it. And I'm not trying to condemn Conor McGregor, right? But I know, for example, when I was younger and I was always getting into fights and I was being a little... and I get in a little bit of trouble with the police, but then I get away with it, you know, I'd get like a little fine, a little slap on the wrist, like, who gives a when you're getting away with it, you don't need to change, right? And certainly when you're world famous like Conor McGregor and you've got hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank and everyone's on the gravy train and everyone's kissing your ass, right? It's hard to be held accountable in those kind of situations. And I feel that's kind of what we're seeing, and he's kind of, in some ways, I use the word victim very lightly, a victim of his own success, you know, because he's not, I don't know. I'm assuming this is not, you know, I assume it's hard for him to have real people around him that tell him what he needs to hear. I don't actually think any criminal stuff is going to be coming to play on this one. There's no cell phone footage around. If there was, that would have made it online by now. Let's be honest. There's no cell phone footage, and there's probably a reason why he hasn't gone to the police. He says he's suing him, right? And if what he said happened, then of course, that is his prerogative. That is his right, and I hope he gets some money out of it. But there is also the critics would say, well, Conor's just a target. He's a target because he's a rich man and people are always going to try and take that. And again, I'm not sticking up for Conor, but there is truth in that as well. I was targeted. I had some little start beef with me in the gym one day and he got in my face and he made all kinds of threats and I snapped and I lost my temper and I grabbed hold of him and he sued me. And that ended up costing me $200,000. You know, it did cost me, in the legal fees I had to pay and the $120,000 compensation I had to give him, it cost me $200,000. Oh, I know. I grabbed him by the neck, right? Because he got right in my face, and we've talked about this years ago. He got right in my face and he squirrels his head up. He said, I know where you live, like that. So, and like that old Liddell Mikey B came out. I just grabbed him by the throat. And then when I grabbed him, as soon as I grabbed him, he went, help, help. He's trying to choke me out. He's trying to choke me, at the top of his voice, and his demeanor changed. Anyway, then he sued me and that's what happened. But then I saw someone, we were picking up Callum from school, and this guy comes over to me. He says, you're Michael Bisping, right? I said, yeah. He says, you had an incident, didn't you, in the gym? I said, yeah, I did. Well, where's this going? He said, the guy that's suing you, he said he works for my brother's mate. I said, really? And he said, yeah. And they actually said, oh, let's go with Bisping. Come on. So it was all planned. It was all staged. And me being a meathead, I fell for it. Anyway, I'm not saying that's what's happened to McGregor, but you ask Mike Tyson, you ask rich people, you ask, you know, it is a possibility. Something needs to happen because unfortunately, you know, when you're not held accountable, you don't learn, you know, and you continue to make the same mistakes. And then eventually something bad might happen. You know, who knows? Maybe he could have been connected to the Italian mob. Could have had a bullet in his head. You know what I mean? He could have hit his head and died. You know, no, it's true though. Do you know what I mean? So many different ways that could have played. He's been very lucky so far that he's managed to walk away from all of this with his freedom, without the heavy weight on his consciousness that he's actually hurt somebody, you know, and that it's all realistically, they're all small little minor things, that it's a storm in a teacup and it'll be forgotten about in a few weeks. But still, it's not a good example for the kids, man. For the freaking kids, bro.